guys, this is GamerCow. Welcome back to another Pokemon Violet's Wonderlocke episode. This time we have another couple of boss fights in the wings, Kieran 2 and Brassius from the Artazon Gym. Before we do that, however, we do have a couple of new additions to our team here. We have Rocco-chan the Clauncher. Again, if you know, you know. This thing is pretty terrible at the moment, to be honest with you. Its moveset is absolutely awful, and it doesn't really learn new good moves until quite late in. It also evolves at level 37, the level that we got that Chloritzer at. So, I don't really know. I think I'm going to have to bust the TMs out for this, but for now, it is going to just kind of stay as is. I really want Water Pulse, but I haven't gone to Casafaka or the fourth gym place to go and get one yet, and the only other one is in the middle of a lake, as far as I know, so I can't really get that right now. But when we do teach it stuff, it is going to be pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to just manually teach it Aura Sphere, because it learns that extremely late, and that will be very useful for the Dark Gym, but, you know, that's going to come up in a bit. And then the first TM I actually have taught is Protect on the Cacnea here. I think Cacnea is actually relatively solid. It's very frail, and I know Cacturn's typing is extremely bad for weaknesses and whatnot, but its hidden ability Water Absorb is actually pretty cool. I think it's totally fine using the hidden ability stuff. Maybe you could argue otherwise, but like, whatever. It's if you're getting stuff off of surprise trades quite often, they would have hidden abilities anyway if they're not just caught in the wild. And, well, this thing's got a lot of power. It's not really got a lot of speed, its defenses are pretty bad, its HP I have invested in very heavily, so hopefully it can survive some stuff. I'm not sure if it's better to go HP or defenses on this thing, but given that all of those stats are relatively low, HP is probably the better one. You can see in general at the moment I've been very bulk driven when it comes to the Pokemon that we're using here. This is mostly just because I want to be able to survive some hits, and I think that's probably going to be the best way of enabling that. So we are just going to go with what we have here, and hopefully it will be good enough. So yeah, this is the Kitikami Hall stuff. We'll have the festival here relatively soon, actually, in terms of in-game time at the very least. But where we are aiming to go is over yonder to the second of our signposts. This one's a little bit further out of the way, and yeah, a bit tricky to find, huh? Yep. Yeah. You're following in the distance, we know. Let's read the sign, have the second part of the tale come up, right? The ogre possessed 4 mysterious glimmering masks. It is said that depending on the mask the ogre donned, the powers of its cudgel would change. When wearing the teal mask, it could bring life back to into withered greenery around it. When wearing the crimson mask, it could turn a candle's flame into a raging inferno. Half flame is generally the best one. Actually, Wellspring is generally the best one, but half flame does come up a lot more often. In terms of like the offensive teams and whatnot, especially nowadays. Actually, I don't think Teal Mask is not Teal. Wellspring is actually used in Pegai very much. Anyway, when wearing the blue mask, it could stop the very flow of a river. Water Absorb is very strong after all. When wearing the ashen grey mask, it could easily break the hardest stone in two. Cornerstone sees a lot more use in restricted formats, surprisingly enough. Ends up being very powerful in those. Before the Loyal Three fell, they wrested away 3 of the ogre's masks, greatly weakening it. But yep, certainly did. Mask of the kept over at the hall. Yeah. Kieran really likes the ogre. It's strong and cool, and didn't even care when everyone shunned it. Kind of like you. Or kind of what you want to be anyway. Want to be as cool as the ogre. You're cool in your own way, come on. Yeah, I mean, she's a little bit of a butt. Not gonna lie. Gonna become someone people can rely on. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yep, picture! Woohoo! So this gives us our next encounter, but we do get requested for a battle here as well, so... Actually, we get requested for it later on, I think, don't we? So, yeah, I think... Do we have to go up first for that? I actually kind of forget. I forget exactly how the story bit progresses, but I think, actually, yeah, we get requested for a battle up the top. So we would actually need to go there first. Do we get... Yeah, let's just do that first, and we'll get the encounter later, because that's what I was expecting. Yeah, we have to go up here. It's kind of funny because the levels here are actually going to end up being slightly higher than what... Because I think the stuff around here is something in the region... I mean, these guys are a bit higher. But let me just get my... Oops, no! Yeah, these things are, what, level 20 or something? 26, yeah, so just a little bit higher. So it's kind of funny that if you just go a little bit further out of the way, then... Oh no, suddenly everything is really high level. But supposedly this next fight is only level 16, so... You know, we should be totally fine that way. Let's use our newfangled dash power to zip up here. Yeah, so I guess if we look around here, yeah, everything's level 15, 16, so I suppose it makes sense. But it's like if you go further up the path, you could catch stuff that's like decently higher level than the stuff that we're about to battle, so it's kind of weird in a way. Regardless, we will go ahead and check out the stuff over here, and we will get our next battle from Kieran. I think we should be okay with what we have here. Like, maybe I could have gone ahead and gotten this bit beforehand, so I could have gotten a third encounter like set up before we go here, but I reckon we should be good to go. Yeah, let's do it. If we didn't want to, we could have gone ahead and like prepared first, but I think we should be okay. If I had Water Pulse, I'd be a lot more confident here, because Water Pulse is 90 base power on Launcher. It doesn't learn it until level 13 though, not 13, 30 though. Kind of ridiculous. Anyway, he adds a Poliwag to his team this time around, which is a really good... It's a really good job we have that Cacnea for this, right? So we will swap out to that. I actually probably should have just led with Cacnea, but oh well. Who cares? Hypnosis is kind of annoying though, right? So Mudshot, not that bad. So it does lower speed, but Poliwag is very, very fast. It would outspeed us anyway. And yeah, it can't use water moves, so I'm not super scared of that. Also, Bullet Seed, this was naturally learned at this exact level, actually at level 16, so we just get to blitz it with that straight away, which is pretty good. The Yanma is still very scary here. It did so much damage, Yeah, so... Yeah, this Yanma is terrifying, and I'm not entirely sure, like I'm hoping Swablu can survive it well enough. We're going to protect fish just to see exactly what it wants to do. Like, it's probably just going to air cutter, right? But yeah, because that's what it did last time. So Yanma, yeah, well, Swablu's going to have to survive 3 of these, which is not a guarantee, right? Because it does have a high crit rate. But if it doesn't survive it, then we're in a world of trouble here. 15 damage. Okay, so I think we can survive 3 of them. But only if it doesn't crit. Oh. Yeah, that's really bad, because that is going to KO us now. We don't really have a recourse for that. Yeah, that's going to be trouble. It's not even as if I could have just used the Oran Berry here either, because we did kind of need... we needed the other part to this as well. Yeah, really not sure what to do from here. That crit really just messed us up entirely. With it doing 15, the range is definitely not going to be favorable. I guess we could see how much it does to Clauncher over here, but Clauncher's got less special defense, so I imagine it's going to do more. Clauncher can survive it, which is good. How much does this do? Okay, again, if we don't get crit, then we should be fine. Oh, that's really good, actually. Because now it means I can just Aqua Jet here. Okay, okay. We are favorable enough. Aqua Jet will definitely get the KO, because even though it's not going to do that much damage, it is still a, you know, stab move and stuff with it here. It doesn't have to do that much damage. And luckily, level 17 is the next cap, so we don't have to worry too much about that bit. I'm not sure how damaging Furret actually is at the moment. I don't know if I need to immediately switch out, is the thing. It's like, if it has like Slash or something, then I'm probably still in a lot of trouble here, huh? I'm not really sure. But I suppose we're probably best off just like actually switching anyway and just making sure that we can do something about this. Maybe if I had Aura Sphere on by now, then I would have been a bit more confident. Oh, Dig! Okay, that's completely fine. Yeah, so we can fire off Leech Seed into that, actually. There's no point protecting because it's not going to do that much damage anyway. And Leech Seed is our win ticket for sure. So, okay. Very scary with the critical hit on Swablu. I was not ready for that, but then again, I don't know how I could have been ready for that. We just had to... Oh, it has Slam, okay. 80 base power... Oh no, never mind, never mind. Oh god, Quick Attack actually still does a lot though. Yikes. Bullet Seed hits 2 to 5 times. We don't have loaded dice at the moment, so yeah, only 2 hits on it here. But I think between Leech Seed and Protect, we should be completely fine off of this. And yeah, scary start, but we're good. We're good. We managed to make this work. So one thing I guess you could say, oh, Leech Seed Protect is such a lame strat to start off with, right? But like Cacnea naturally learns Leech Seed very early, and Protect is something you get before you even get to Mesagoza. So I think we're totally fine as far as just like stuff that we're using at the moment. So there's not really any there's nothing that we're using that we've like explored around the world for. I think this is totally fine. Anyway, yep, Furret goes down. Sorry, sweet. And that's that. Very scary, actually. That Air Cutter from Yanma is terrifically dangerous. Like, it's just so powerful. I think the problem is, what, have I not just like over-leveled again as far as one of the bits? It's really difficult, especially because of the boosted experience part here. It's really difficult for trying to keep stuff under wraps that way. Like, things are just leveling way too fast for the most part. Clauncher and Swablu have really bad like experience curves for the early game. I think Clauncher is a slow growth rate, and Swablu is the what's it called? It's the erratic one, I think. The one that's like 600k, which you would think, oh, that's like dead easy to level then, but it's very, very slow at the start of the game. Even slower than a slow growth rate. So, you're a sweet kid. It's like, when can I move in is the other funny one. It's like, oh, it's just, I'm not. You are. Uh-huh. Because the town thinks that the ogre is a monster here. But yeah, it's already sundown. To save the last one. Yep, but we do still get our encounter, so there is that. Festival dancing, yep, puts around everything. Yeah, let's go together. We've made a friend. There we go. Be great to go together. Exactly. So yeah, the next part of this story is to go to the house, and yeah, we have a map, so you can go ahead and point it out. Yeah, clicking the buttons, and there we go. He's like, man, I want a phone. True, by the way. You know. Ah, very nice to make a friend this early, right? So yeah, Catnia is not usable for the grass gym. I suppose that's okay. I haven't taught it a move that's like worthwhile for it yet. Cacnea can learn Poison Jab, so I was kind of considering that for going here. But I think what I might do is just like teach Swablu Aerial Ace or something, and go with that. But that all kind of does depend on what the next encounter is as well. So let's go ahead and see what that is like. Still can't get over how terrifying that Yama is. Like, seriously, so much damage coming off of that. Alright, do we have another... Well, I mean, this is a 5 IV Swablu, but I don't really need this one, to be honest with you. So, yeah, let's go ahead and trade the thing off, and we shall see what our next encounter is. Hopefully it's something that can deal with grass types. That would be ideal. But, you know, like a solid fire type would be nice. We'll see. I think, like, fire really would be the good one for the moment. But I'm not really sure, to be honest. I just kind of want something that's interesting, we'll say. So, Swablu getting traded away. And in its place is probably not something that I can use. Yeah, that has to get blurred out, I'm afraid. Welp. And this is one of those unfortunate moments where we just have to kind of pass this off again. Oh no, communication error. That's happened quite a bit for me on this internet, again, this being mobile internet that I have to use at the moment. It isn't necessarily the sturdiest when it comes to online, like, communication with other people, so... Yeah, I hate sending these back out, but, like, the alternative is I just have to release them every time they come in, right? Oh, Bertus would be extremely happy with this. Okay then, that is fascinating. Is this a legitimate Pokemon to use? Yes, it's come from a Terra raid. Okay then. Tandemaus, huh? Tandemaus is fast and frail, I suppose, so it's a little bit different from the other stuff that we have here. But yeah, this is absolutely legitimate indeed, and Bertus has been wanting me to use a mouse hold for absolutely ever. So I guess this is the chance, right? Let's see what we can do with it. Alrighty, just look at that magnificent windmill. It still does that even when you are outside of town too. It's kind of insane. So, Tandemaus. I don't actually have a name for it yet because I don't really know exactly what I want to call it. But it is just a very straightforward max speed, max attack. I have taught it U-turn at the moment, and we have got temporarily the bite egg move here as well. Just because we actually have that on Wartortle. So you would be able to use the Mirror Herb on Picnic Run in order to transfer it across. Speaking of Wartortle, it has also been taught Icy Wind here. I am fairly sure that is going to come up as a useful attack against the final Pokemon from Brassius. And I was considering teaching Fly on the Swablu here just to have like a stronger move to use, but I don't know, I just don't think it's really going to be like that good. Aerial Ace is also something I considered teaching, but I think it's just not necessary here. I suppose the only other thing that's a bit awkward is I have given it the Citrus Berry instead of the Silk Scarf here. That means it's probably going to 2-shot instead of 3-shot when it comes to the Pokemon that will fight here. but they don't exactly have very good moves against it. Sleep Powder is going to be the most annoying thing, I think, to go against. But even then, it's like, what are you Sleep Powdering into? It's just not doing that much. So I think it should be okay. Now, for some reason, I always end up being here at nighttime. I have no idea like how I end up managing to do that in terms of like in-game time. And oh, I'm sure you weren't wanting to do that. I'm not even gonna battle us this time, huh? Next time she will though. So yeah, there's gonna be that to it. So we get some ethers. Obviously can't use those in battle, but that is fine. Hey, you train like 20 Pokemon. That implies that you can catch that many. Wow. Anywho, yeah, we are going to register ourselves as a challenger here, and we have to do the Sunflora hide and seek. This was one of the more, let's just say, one of the worst performing parts out of all. I mean, there's a lot of worst performing parts out of this game, but this one in particular was so crazy noticeable that, you know, again, it's what I refer to as stop motion graphics, basically, when the Sunflora themselves were at such a low frame rate, despite being right next to you, that it just felt really, really bad. Anyhow, you have to gather 10 Sunflora. There are loads and loads of them around. Some of them will fight you if you actually talk to them, like mostly the ones that run away, but because we're at nighttime, the Sunflora are all asleep. So it's a lot easier to do this gym challenge when it's at night as opposed to during the day. So the other one is this one will run away regardless, so if you go after that one it actually does fight you, so we will just not bother. Find mostly the ones that are sleeping. That would be the best bet here, I think. So it's like, yeah, that one we don't care. But we'll just move around and grab as many, once we find them again, grab as many other ones as we can. I know there's some in the bit here. I don't remember if there's one in the center, actually, but feels like, yeah, it's like, you feel like there should be, right? And yeah, as you can see from the actual Sunflora moving here, they move like normal things. I mean, they still pop in because they can't keep up with Miraidon, right? But they actually don't feel like they are, you know, fictional sort of like caricatures, I guess. I don't know, I mean obviously they are, but like they don't feel quite the same sort of... I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, if you've seen the old films and stuff like that, that just... yeah, they're just like stills, right? That's kind of what it felt like, but now they actually move properly, which is really good. Once you've caught 10 of, or like encountered 10 of them, all the rest of them disappear, so you've just got to go straight back and put them all in the field. Even this bit, they just moved, you know, like at 3 frames a second or something. It's kind of ridiculous. And yeah, I'm not gonna praise them for changing the stuff that way, because it never should have been like that in the first place, but I will say it just feels a lot nicer to not have to worry about that bit. Okay, I think we are going to be as ready as we can be for this, so let's just go ahead and do our best. So you would think, oh, this is a grass gym, it's going to be easy, right? Let's just use a fire type or use a flying type like we've got here. There's going to be no problems whatsoever, right? Well, this gym has a bit of a nasty surprise for you if you do that. Also, this guy's just like on the windmill. I don't know why he jumps off it. He should definitely have died for that. But nope, superhero landings are very good in the Pokemon world, it seems. So yeah, here's Brassius, he's an artist, he's the gym leader thing, he's at like level 17. So it's kind of silly in a way. He's only 2 levels higher than Katie, and I have to imagine it's because you could go either way, and this game doesn't level scale, which is probably the biggest disappointment for it, but I have to imagine he's only level 17 because you could have gone this way first, as I did in my original playthrough, actually. Katie was my 5th gym leader, and yeah, I did the highest level one 4th, So, art is creation and destruction. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and use our Swift here. It is, oh, with a crit, okay, it is gonna two-shot, which is good. And it didn't go for Sleep Powder. The only other move this Petalil has is Sleep Powder, so I was a little bit concerned that it was just going to spam that on me, and it was gonna be really annoying. But thankfully, that is not the case. So we do have it down, which is really good. And now his other two Pokemon, we have Smoliv over here, which is fine. It's normal grass type. It's only got physical, as far as I'm aware, physical moves on both of those. So it's not particularly strong in physical attack. So I don't think I'm in too much danger here. We do still comfortably get a two-shot as well, which is quite nice. We have a lot of health left here. So the temptation is to swap to Tandemaus here so I can get the KO with U-turn and go into Wartortle, which might seem weird in the grass place, but Icy Wind is fantastic against the final Pokemon. But I don't think I need to do that. I think that's too much of a risk. So because we have a Citrus Berry on this as well, that should heal quite a bit. We are just going to go for it. I'm pretty sure we 3-shot the final Pokemon here, but it really just depends how much damage it does to me. The biggest concern is the signature move of this place, which is Trailblaze. It's basically Flame Charge. If you use the attack, it increases your speed. But honestly, Sudowoodo is a physical attacker. We could just growl it here, and this should truly Widow. I always got a laugh out of this one. So yeah, he uses a rock type to change into the grass type here. Very fitting. It also makes it resistant to water now, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the biggest disadvantage for the gym leaders is that they all terastalize into the same type as the rest of their Pokemon. So even if they had a type advantage before, like, it really doesn't matter anymore. So yeah. So he's going to go for Trailblaze first, probably because he's slower than us, so this will increase his speed or make him faster. That's why I was going to switch into Wartortle for the Icy Wind, so that it would cancel this out, and I'm pretty sure Icy Wind would two-shot, because Sudowoodo's special defense is quite bad, yeah, but that's not the case here. It's still slower, even at +1. That was a crit, huh? Okay. So that's a little bit of a concern. Now it should be faster at +2. And it goes for the Rock Throw. This is super effective. Oh, it almost KO'd too. Jeez, 20 damage, huh? So maybe a bit more than I expected. We would get KO'd by a crit, or if that was like a mid damage roll or something. So I think it is probably safe to switch out here. Let me just check the speeds real quick, just to be sure. 33 into 50? So it didn't outspeed me at +1. It has it +2. I reckon Tandemaus should still be faster here. So we'll swap this way, and hopefully U-turn will just get the KO here. That would be ideal. Or I could risk the Bite Flinch or double hit gets the KO. U-turn is 140, double hit is 30 times, 35 times 2, so 70, 105, 1.2 for the, it's probably not worth the risk. We'll just U-turn. It's got Silk Scarf as well. I could have put the Silver Powder on. Oh, and it doesn't actually KO. Ooh, maybe I should have used Bite here then. Because now we're in a little bit of danger off of this. Because if it's going Trailblaze, that's going to be pretty nasty on Wartortle here. But I think this is still the best bet, because if it Rock Throws instead, then Swablu's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I could have swapped in Swablu, but then I'd still have to swap back out anyway. 37, okay, we are fine. I think this also dies to a crit though, right? That was 24 times 1. Ooh, that's close, but I think we should be okay. And Water Pulse is definitely going to get the KO from here. it's Torrent boosted by the end of this as well. Yeah, we're fine, okay. That was closer than it probably should have been, but we did survive. I think Trailblaze would have two-shot without the -1 from Growl, so that's also kind of scary. Maybe a safer way round? We could have possibly gone for double Growl, right? But then we just haven't done enough damage to it, I don't think. Sudowoodo just has quite a lot of attack, so even though its moves are low base power, we are also rather weak at this stage as well, so it sort of just adds up and ends up being quite nasty. I'm actually not... I don't think I want Bullet Seed right now. I can always relearn it, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is for the moment and see where we go from there. Maybe we do want Bullet Seed, but I don't think it matters too much against the trainers that we're going to be battling pretty soon. Like, the next boss is Carmine, who has 2 Pokemon that are resistant to grass, right? In Vulpix and Poltergeist. So, yeah, I don't think we need it yet. Anywho, that is our Grass Gym badge obtained. We can now catch stuff easier to level 30. That's kind of cool, I suppose. We'll also get a special TM Trailblaze. Let's say 50 base power. At least it's 100 accurate, but 50 base power and boosts speed once it is used. So it could actually be pretty handy, depending on where we use it, like what fight it comes into. Most of the time we should hopefully be outspeeding, or if we're not outspeeding then it's because of bulk stuff. But maybe Cacnea could use it? I didn't train it in speed though, so I don't know. Anyway, this is Hassel. He is the final Elite Four member, and what are we doing? We are. My friend asked me to. No, I want to get stronger. That's all there is to it. But I mean, it doesn't matter which one you answer, obviously. So, yeah, it's entirely possible that such great potential lies within you as well. I think it does, as it always should. But I guess that just depends on how nice the community is being to us. So we shall see. For now, though, that is going to do it for this particular bit. We just need to get our next encounter now and see where we go from there. Okay, what are the surprise trades going to give us this time? We will swap away the Tandemaus, I guess, because it's the best. We could have swapped the Altaria as well, but we'll swap the Tandemaus out and see if we get anything cool. It's always the thing. Do we get something useful, or are we just going to be disappointed? Who knows? I think we've gotten like an okay set so far. That's a very strange tag to have, like a strange name to have in game, but that's okay. It's a Charmander, huh? Well, if this is a legitimate one, which I mean, it is definitely not, because that is a Pokehack site, unfortunately. That's a shame, because it would have actually been kind of good. But yeah, no, it's very clearly not legit. So another one that we have to trade away, more Sensibars having to go on and stuff here. They're not always the same site. There are multiple of these things, so it's just one of those things if I just need to blur them all out. If I ever get to a point where there's too many of these coming up in a row, then I am probably just going to actively not show the trades. Executor! Man, we are getting all the grass types with like 1 billion weaknesses, aren't we? Execute could be pretty interesting though. So there is that at the very least. Let's have a look-see. Yeah, looks pretty reasonable. We are... yeah, chlorophyll stuff's fine. It's caught in the savannah. Yep, that one has the regular Executor. The coastal biome is the one with the Alolan ones. So, okay. more mega weaknesses in terms of, I mean, Grass Psychic is a cool typing at the very least though, but like, that's a lot of weaknesses to take care of. Thankfully, this is not the one that we have to try and work through Katie with, because that would be just straight up impossible, I think. But alright, Executor is going to come in as our other encounter this time around. I may actually still have an Execute as far as stuff goes, so maybe I don't need to breed this one, but if I do, at least we know what we're going for. Alright, with that said, this has been Gamer Cal playing the Pokemon Violet's Wonderlocke. Next time round, we continue our adventure in Kitikami for a little bit, and take on the next Carmine fight. That one also technically doesn't have a jingle on it, but it does give us a photo opportunity, and the last time I did one of these, my chat decided it was perfectly okay to have an encounter there, so we will get an extra one from that. But until then, take care.